All right, I'm going to tell you exactly what I really thought about that Kendrick Lamar show at the Super Bowl. First off, I'm a white guy. Surprised? 51 years old. I'm a proud Gen Xer. And here's how I would describe it. Do you know how, well, I'll take just for me personally, in high school, they would have you read Shakespeare. And I was a good student. I wanted to like Shakespeare, but I didn't get it because I didn't understand the language. And I ended up becoming an actor and doing a little Shakespeare. And still that whole time it intimidated me because it wasn't my background. I didn't understand the language, but I knew it was a masterpiece. I knew it was great. I sort of felt that way also when I encounter any other kind of art or music that I'm not used to, or when I go to a fine art museum. I'm like, I know this is amazing, but I don't know why. That's what I felt through the whole halftime show. So what I knew for sure is it was layered and important, but it wasn't in my language. So what I've done today is I've researched and I'm learning. I obviously don't know a ton about rap culture. I like popular rap, but I'm not way into it. I don't know anything about like gaming culture really, which I know the stage was like PlayStation and stuff. If you think you hated it, just study it. It's Shakespeare.
When Uncle Sam said, "Scorekeeper deduct one life," and the camera pans to these black dancers dancing in the X, where the football field is still present, and they're dancing in these white outfits that, they seem to try to get out of. They almost look like straitjackets, if you will. This move is intentional. It is obvious that Black Americans set the precedent for entertainment. The vast majority of football players are Black, and they also set all of these trends on social media and are never given credit. Yet, where do they end up? They end up getting into these mental health institutions, or they get funneled into the prison industrial complex disproportionately. And their voices are taken away from them. They feel like they can't get out, and they're doing slave labor. The framing of them dancing in the X is intentional because, as we saw in the end, it was almost like this video game where it said game over. So it seems like if they're dancing in the X, they already lost. And this whole performance was to bring attention to that and how that's absolutely insane. Black people deserve to be more than just our entertainment. They deserve to have a voice and a platform. They deserve to be normal people and not to be labeled as ghetto. And I find that sliver of the performance incredibly interesting when Uncle Sam said that. The American flag, the fact that all of the dancers were Black, just like everything about this performance is crazy. And some people that said, oh, other performances were better, or, I didn't really understand this, like, what's all the hype about? I'm like, did we watch the same performance?
We got to get Drake back on. I know I've said some things, but I'm here to help. Just listen. First and foremost, we got to make space in your life for the good things coming, which means spring cleaning. We got to get rid of a couple people, okay? You got to get away from Baca. I hear he's not nice. Secondly, it's bad for the image. You got to denounce academics. He's doing some things. You got to get away from him. While we're at it, let's just dump Nicki Minaj, okay? I know you don't have a lot of contact, but separate. Speaking of Nicki Minaj, kids, we got to stay away from them. The streamers specifically, you got to separate. You're a little old, and that's okay. Embrace your age. Your core fan base is getting older too. The people who fell in love with you when we fell in love with you. Now, speaking of when we fell in love with you, release the vault of songs from when we liked you. The early 2010s, okay? You're in proximity anyways. You're about to do that album with PND. Make it count. On that album, go R&B, man. No more tough talk. We've heard it. We saw it. We like the arc. We like the arc, and we like character development and growth. It's okay to rebrand and to grow, but stick to what works. One more thing you got to get away from is stake. You got to get rid of the public gambling thing. It's not working. You're losing money. You're winning money. Your fans are not millionaires. Sure, there's some, I get it, there's some, but you're the mass of your fans, no. This is where it starts to sting, but it's gonna be good, okay? You have to admit your loss, okay? You have to admit your loss, and in that, you should congratulate Kendrick for being big as the what? Think about that. It would be fantastic if you publicly were like, hey, he's big as the, you used the clip from your song, and then showed a picture of Kendrick, and you gave him Pac's ring back. Take it a step further, give him Pharrell's chains back. You bought them, gift them. It's a write-off. All right, I know I said release the vault songs from way back when, but when you do so, only do R&B, okay? We're only gonna do R&B when we're in Atlanta from now on. At any point going forward, any song with you in Atlanta needs to be you doing R&B. With that, perhaps drop those songs on a mixtape, okay? Give it away for free. I get we all have like a streaming service, but like just here for the free. Not, I plan, not a rollout, just boom. Speaking of free features for a year. Anybody and everybody. Wayne had some of his incredible runs off just features. Think about that. Think about what you could do, just giving away the freeness to everybody. Everybody. No royalties, nothing. You're rich, you got the money. You've been telling us you got the money. You want to really plot twist it? Donate to the LA fires. Could be part of the Kendrick apology. Doesn't have to be. Have to have a statue of Kendrick made. That's just kind of funny. But the last three, ready? We're going to start a foundation for abused women and kids. A lot of jokes were made. This is a way to fix it. Last two things, man. Enjoy a soft life. You worked hard for it. And then go to therapy. For real, man. Like, go to therapy. We'll continue on this path.
So I'm coming across a lot of people who did not feel Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance last night. I have to say it might go down as my favorite halftime performance. I thought it was awesome, and I have a couple of reasons. Number one, I just think it's really funny that he wrote this diss track of Drake, and it's, you know, it's right up there with Hit 'Em Up as one of the great diss tracks of all time. Right up there with No Vaseline. And it becomes so mainstream that if you're Drake, you're just sitting at home and you can't believe how your career has just crumbled apart. Not your career, but your reputation. And not only that, it reached a point where you're doing the least hip-hop thing possible, which is suing another artist for defamation. And you think, yeah, I'm going to sue him. And the next thing you know, this song, which is a direct aim at you, is being performed at the Super Bowl halftime show. And everyone knows the words. It's insane. Number two, the performance kind of reminded me of back when Trump first became president, or right after Hillary lost, and Tribe Called Quest, shortly after the death of Phife Dawg, was a musical guest at Saturday Night Live. And they gave this really poignant, really blistering performance that kind of screamed, this is still our America. This isn't just your America. This is also our America. And I thought that that's what the Kendrick Lamar performance did, actually. In this whole backlash to DEI and this whole marginalization of minorities, the taking down of images in different government offices, promoting diversity, the stripping of government websites of stories of diverse people succeeding. You have Kendrick Lamar and this just absolutely hardcore, fantastic, that was my gate, showing of sort of, I don't even know, like pride and resilience as Trump was at the Super Bowl, even though I guess he left at that point. I thought it was awesome. And I also think Kendrick Lamar is awesome. I saw him with my son in concert a year and a half ago out in LA, and he was good. So I loved it.
They really don't be doing it like me, man.
Yo,
They not like us,
bro.
man.
She crazy.
It's like they not like
See
us.
that Rose? See that ecstasy right there? More than your rent.
They not like us, man. You ain't from here, man. If you ain't from here, don't come here, y'all.
Don't come here. Don't
You know
come
where you
here.
at? Tell them where they at, man. Tell them where they
You better
at.
watch out when you see us in public.
Yeah. Don't play with my boy.
Don't play
with
around.
my
We
boy.
don't play around like
Don't
that.
play with my boy.
That boy Kendrick, he needs to be studied. He needs to be studied on a deeper level.
So the Super Bowl picked the right time, but the wrong person.
That's what he said, and he told them also in his in his opening, you guys, it's the right moment for the wrong individual. So, and it's the longest middle finger in hip hop. It's the longest. Actually, if you're asking about anything that has ever come out of New Orleans is known to have floods. This is like way above sea level. The longest hip hop is basically Kendrick Lamar. Yes.
So how was the show though? How was the show? It was highly anticipated.
Yes.
You know, how did you find it?
I think the show is amazing. They managed to do so many things. There are so many clues in there that people are missing.
Yeah.
Like I was wondering what the role of the announcer was
Yeah.
in this whole Super Bowl. But if you've watched Spike Lee movies, you know there's usually an announcer who's like an Uncle Sam character,
Yeah.
who was in Bamboozled and all these other things.
Yeah.
And Spike Lee's Black History, Kendrick Lamar's Black History. During Black History Month, they had to like play on that. And I think it was nice bringing theater to the Super Bowl. That being said, I loved seeing Serena Williams doing the sea walk, basically. It's just like somebody tap dancing on your grave, basically.
Yeah.
This is your ex-girlfriend tap dancing with your enemy. Your enemy is performing, and your ex-girlfriend is tap dancing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like really, really, really deep. But besides that, I loved seeing all these people. Caesar looked amazing. You know, Kendrick did his thing. The hood was represented, and I think he concentrated more on his new album than giving people what they expected. He's a man known for doing that.
Yeah.
He gives you what you didn't expect.
Yeah.
So he did that by promoting his new album, promoting his tour with Caesar, which is coming up. And yeah, I expected some songs to feature there, or there were certain highlights that I expected that I didn't see. But then again, it's a Kendrick Lamar show, which is more of an art statement than it is a performance.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, because remember, you know, this is dubbed the biggest show
In the
you know,
world, basically.
and you want to bring your A game.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So yeah.
What chain was he wearing again? What letter was on the chain?
What letter was it?
Tell me, all of you watched the Super Bowl. You missed the letter. You just said it was bringing his A game. What did the A stand for? You know?
Yeah.
But it was a small A also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What did you think about his intro, though? Was there some way or some intro you expected, like a grand opening?
You know, these things are also according to budget. I was telling my friend the other time that when you're planning a show, right, you can talk about how you're going to swing on all these wires, things are going to be exploding out of the stage.
Yeah.
But you need to think about that at the end of the day, everything you're saying has a cost implication because of the team that needs to build it. You need to hire specialists for these things to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would have wished for the production to be as big as Rihanna's, right?
Yeah.
But you need to know that this is Kendrick Lamar also. Like, he wants the music to be the center stage, not all these other things that are distracting you.
Yeah.
And we are in the era where most people like the distraction more than they like the music. But once again, his statement has always been on, think about what I'm saying. Like, did you listen to what the verse was about?
Which one? Because there was several.
It was the verse and the intro.
Yeah.
The verse and the intro is he's rapping on the GNX car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's what he's saying which is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the pyrotechnics and whatever, I think all of that is for people who are amateur at listening to music. I concentrate on the message. So I wouldn't have changed anything about that intro. I just wish that certain songs were arranged in a different way.
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my biggest attributes, I think, in hip-hop Uganda is I don't care who comes before me, but I'll kill you with a performance because of how I
Regardless.
sequence my songs. You get
Yeah.
me? Yeah.